In 1617 in Japan, a ninja named Hanzo lives peacefully with his clan. One day while Hanzo is away at the well, Bai-Han bursts into the house and starts killing the clan members. Hanzo's wife immediately hides her baby under the floor and tries to escape with her son, but Bai-Han blocks their way. They refuse to tell him where Hanzo is, so Bai-Han uses his power to make an ice spike appear on his hand. At that moment Hanzo hears his wife screaming and starts running back. Sadly he arrives late, his wife and son are dead and covered in ice. Then some enemies appear in the bushes, so Hanzo pulls out his sword to fight them, showing great skill as he easily kills them one by one. Soon more assassins come out of hiding, so Hanzo ties a kunai to some rope and throws it around to continue killing his enemies without mercy. Then Hanzo finds Bai-Han and throws the kunai, which slashes Bai-Han's face. A fight ensues and after exchanging a few blows, Bai-Han stabs Hanzo in the stomach with his own weapon. Hanzo headbutts him to free himself, but Bai-Han grabs him by the neck and covers it with ice. Moving fast, Hanzo slashes his stomach and the fight continues. Bai-Han smashes Hanzo's head on a rock, yet he keeps moving, fighting until he's thrown against a tree. Then Bai-Han stabs him in the shoulder with the kunai and Hanzo passes out. After Bai-Han leaves, Hanzo wakes up when he hears a baby crying. He tries to crawl toward the house, but he collapses as he dies. Because of the dragon-shaped mark on his arm, a magical flame appears on his hand and burns his body, making it disappear without a trace. Then Raiden magically appears and takes the baby away. In this world, there are 6 different realms, and humans live on the Earth realm. These realms fight in the Mortal Kombat tournament, and if the Earth realm doesn't win one soon, the Outworld realm will invade. An ancient prophecy says that Hanzo's heir will gather a group of champions to finally get a victory. In the present day, Cole enters a cage for another MMA fight. In the excited crowd, Jax watches with interest. Cole puts up a very good fight and shows impressive skill, but his opponent captures him in a chokehold and keeps him there long enough to win. Later in the bathroom, Cole is washing up when he suddenly has a strange vision. He blames it on his injuries and goes looking for his daughter Emily. At that moment they're approached by Jax, who has noticed that Cole has a dragon mark on his chest. Cole tells him it's just a funny birthmark. Meanwhile in the Outworld, Bai-Han has become Sub-Zero. His master Shang Tsung is worried about the prophecy, so he orders Sub-Zero to go to the Earth realm and kill its champions before the tournament. In the evening, Cole goes out for dinner with Emily and his wife Allison while Jax watches from afar. Suddenly it starts to snow in the middle of summer. The tables and the windows start freezing as Sub-Zero appears in the middle of the street. He controls the ice to attack the people in the area, causing them to panic and hide. As Sub-Zero keeps throwing ice, Jax picks up the family in his car and drives off. During the trip, Jax shows Cole that he has the same mark on his body and explains it isn't a birthmark. It means he's been chosen to fight as a champion. When the car turns around the corner, they find Sub-Zero freezing the ground. Jax rushes to get his weapon from the trunk and tells Cole to leave with his family, giving him an address to find someone called Sonya. When Sub-Zero hides inside a building, Jax goes after him and finds ice covering all the walls and stairs. On the upper floor, Sub-Zero surprises Jax from behind and attacks. Jax tries to open fire, but Sub-Zero freezes the gun and destroys it. The men continue to fight hand to hand and Jax is capable of keeping up pretty well, but his attacks can't do much damage because of the armor. After throwing Jax against a window, Sub-Zero grabs him by the arms and freezes them until they explode. Then he throws Jax down a hole, assuming he's dead. In the Outworld, Melina informs Shang Tsung that Sub-Zero has killed a champion, but the other one has escaped. Shang Tsung tells her to send out more assassins, revealing that he's won the last 9 tournaments by cheating like this. Meanwhile Cole leaves his family at home before going to the address Jax gave him. When he enters the junkyard he's attacked by Sonya, who quickly overpowers him. He mentions Jax and she asks him to show his marking to prove his story. They enter the house and Jax sees some pictures that reveal Sonya and Jax are special forces. She shows him a room full of research and shares that she saw the dragon mark for the first time 7 years ago in Brazil. Their target had special abilities, and when Jax defeated him, the mark transferred to his body. Her research indicates that there's some kind of secret legendary tournament and the dragon mark chooses the champions who will fight for Earth. They need as many fighters as possible because most of Earth's champions have been killed. When Cole looks at a picture of Hanzo, he sees the strange vision again. At that moment someone speaks from the shadows, so Cole turns on the lights to discover Sony has a prisoner named Kano. He's a mercenary who received the mark after he was hired to kill one of the champions. Kano keeps making dirty comments about Sonya, so she punches him to shut him up. Suddenly the power goes out and Sonya discovers a hole in the ceiling caused by acid. Then something invisible starts moving around the room, knocking down a few objects before attacking Cole. When the invisible creature brings down Kano next, Sonya opens fire and causes it to reveal itself. As Reptile lets go of Kano, it slashes his face with its claws. Sonya runs out of bullets and starts throwing knives. The first 2 do hit Reptile, but since it runs away, the last one lands on Kano's leg. Reptile goes invisible again and hides in the ceiling, where it spits some acid on a beam. Then it attacks Sonya and Cole, who can't defend themselves because they can't see it. Kano notices that the acid is corroding the metal beam, so he puts his handcuffs under it to break them and free himself. Then he joins the fight with a knife from his leg and a flare, which he lights up before stabbing it into Reptile's body. The creature runs around the room and accidentally starts a fire before becoming visible. The three humans continue to fight it and Reptile uses its tongue to capture Kano. Cole throws a knife at Sonya as she jumps and she manages to stab Reptile in the chest, only to be pushed off. Reptile drops Kano in the process, so he impales the monster with his bare hand to rip out its heart. Afterward, Sonya is frustrated because all her research is burnt. Kano reveals he knows the location of the temple where the champions train before the tournament, but refuses to share it. Sonya convinces him to take them there by promising to pay him $3 million, but she admits to Cole in private that she doesn't have the money. The next day, a friend of Kano's is flying them to the temple. During the trip, Cole keeps dreaming about those strange visions. When they reach the desert, they jump out of the plane using parachutes. Now they have to walk the rest of the way. Kano keeps behaving like a twat and accuses Sonya of being jealous because he has a mark but she doesn't. An argument escalates into an actual fight and Sonya proves that she doesn't need the mark to overpower him in just a few seconds. Kano wants her to end it, but Sonya refuses to kill him. After lots of walking, the group comes across Liu Kang, who throws a fire attack at Kano when he insults him. Liu Kang introduces himself as one of the champions and agrees to take them to the temple. The group walks a few more miles and finds some hidden tunnels in the mountains. Liu Kang explains that this used to be a holy temple while using his power to open a secret door. In the next room they find paintings of previous tournaments decorating the walls, which remind Cole of his visions. Kano tries to steal some of the decorations but Liu Kang makes him put them back. Sonya sees some monks entering a room at the back and follows them to find an unconscious Jax. Liu Kang explains that the ice cauterized his wounds and the monks will be able to heal him, but it'll take some time. Then Liu Kang introduces the trio to Lord Raiden, who thinks they aren't in shape to fight. When Kano complains, Raiden hits him with lightning. He explains that the Outworld has won 9 times in a row and one more victory will grant them control of Earth forever. Meanwhile, a sudden cold wind blows out Liu Kang's fire and he discovers that Sub-Zero has entered the temple. He immediately throws a fireball, but Sub-Zero dodges it and retaliates with an ice attack that throws Liu Kang back. When Sub-Zero is about to stab Liu Kang with an ice spear, a metal hat suddenly throws him against the wall. This is the weapon of Kung Lao, who has come to help his friend. Shang Tsung and Mileena also appear to help Sub-Zero, however Raiden teleports in front of them to block them with his lightning powers. This creates an energy field that forces the enemies to leave. Afterward, Cole and Kano are taken to an arena where they can awaken their powers, but Sonya isn't allowed to join them because she has no mark. She goes to check on Jax, who finally wakes up and discovers he's been given mechanical arms. In the arena, Cole trains against Kung Lao and surprises him by keeping up pretty well against him. Kung Lao then takes off his hat to use it as a weapon, and in just a few moves he brings Cole down. Next, Kano goes against Liu Kang and is defeated in seconds. While Liu Kang takes care of Cole's wounds with stitches and fire, he tells him the story of how he was found by Raiden and found his fire power. He advises Cole to understand what drives him to fight. The rest of the day Cole keeps training and getting defeated over and over. Jax also trains with his new arms but feels they're weak. During dinner, Kano keeps insulting everyone, causing Kung Lao and Liu Kang to lose their patience. They call him out for being too aggressive for such a useless fighter. Kano furiously goes on a rant and his eye starts glowing. Suddenly he shoots a laser, which Kung Lao deflects with his hat so it hits the wall instead of a person. It appears that Kano's power is a laser eye. The next day Cole trains against Kano, who is happy to beat him up repeatedly. Liu Kang makes Cole go through it over and over, hoping pain will awaken his power. Sadly, nothing happens. Later, Cole asks Raiden about his mark since he's had it since he was born and not for defeating someone. Raiden realizes that Cole is Hanzo's descendant and explains what Sub-Zero did to the clan. When Hanzo died, he descended into the Netherrealm, where he endlessly searches for revenge on Hell. His bloodline lived on when Raiden rescued and raised Hanzo's daughter. Raiden thinks Cole isn't strong enough to do this and opens a portal to send him back to his family. Meanwhile, Shang Tsung gathers more fighters and orders them to find a way to break Raiden's barrier. Cabal fought Kano in the past and holds a grudge, so he comes up with a plan. Moments later, Cabal appears outside the barrier and taunts Kano with some insults, but he also offers him lots of money to change sides. Then Kano uses his laser on the device that powers the energy shield. The explosion sends him flying but also destroys the barrier. Black smoke enters the temple as Shang Tsung arrives with his team. A fight ensues between both teams. Jax goes against Reiko, who easily brings him down with his hammer and throws him to knock him out. Sonya fights Mileena and actually keeps up fairly well at first. However, Mileena is much stronger and soon overpowers her by stabbing her multiple times. She throws Sonya into the arena and takes back her weapon to lick off the blood. This makes her realize that Sonya isn't a champion, so she refuses to kill her because it'd be worthless. After Mileena disappears, Kano grabs Sonya and inserts his thumb into her stab wound before throwing her on the rocks. Then he uses his laser to destroy a statue and the debris falls on top of Sonya. When Jax wakes up, He sees his trapped friend and tries to move the rocks to no avail. He's so desperate to save Sonya that he awakens his power, causing his arms to evolve into more advanced models. Now he can move the debris without breaking a sweat. Liu Kang goes after Kabal, but his fireballs are quickly blocked. Kabal tackles him to continue the fight, showing the power to move incredibly fast. Meanwhile, Kung Lao throws his hat at Shang Tsung, who easily dodges it. He refuses to fight a lower soldier, so he summons Nitara. She screeches as she flies in the shadows, thus Kung Lao closes his eyes and concentrates. When Nitara attacks him from behind, he hears her and dodges her before jumping on top of her. Kung Lao controls his hat to make it fall on the ground and start spinning. Then he pushes Nitara down, causing her to land on the hat and splitting her whole body in half. At the same time, the black smoke sneaks into Cole's shed. He senses that something is wrong and goes outside, only to find Goro. This massive enemy throws Cole aside and tries going after the family, but Cole shows him his mark to keep his attention on him. Then Cole goes into the shed and grabs a crowbar before hiding, waiting for Goro to come through the door. However, Goro punches right through the wall and grabs Cole with his multiple arms to beat him up. Goro also breaks the wooden beams to use as weapons, which causes the shed to start collapsing. Cole tries to crawl out as quickly as possible, but debris falls on top of him and traps him. Goro retrieves Cole from the rubble and gets ready to rip out his spine. A desperate Allison grabs an axe and hits Goro, who just pushes her back. Allison and Emily run to hide in the car and drive it forward to run over the enemy, however Goro easily stops it with his strength. He smashes the roof and rips off the door before dragging Allison out. Cole is desperate to save his family, so his eyes start glowing. His power finally awakens and covers his body with golden armor. He runs toward Goro and gets hit with the car door, but the armor absorbs the impact and he doesn't feel any pain. With his new strength, Cole grabs Goro and breaks one of his forearms. Goro just puts it back in place and starts punching him with all his fists, so Emily yells at Cole to use his famous uppercut. Cole does so, which pushes a shocked Goro back. The next time Goro attacks him, the armor glows and makes two weapons appear. The fight continues and Cole manages to cut one of Goro's hands off. After slashing his belly too, Cole stabs Goro in the eye to finally kill him. At the temple, Raiden senses the awakening of Hanzo's bloodline and opens a portal to bring Cole back. Raiden then activates his lightning again to escape with the champions, however he only teleports Jax and Sonya out. When he's about to take the others, Sub-Zero throws an ice attack that blocks the lightning and brings Cole down. When Sub-Zero is about to attack again, Kung Lao throws his hat to block him. Shang Tsung uses his power to drag Kung Lao toward his hand and proceeds to suck out his soul to kill him. Hearing the screaming, Liu Kang punches Kabal off and runs to the arena, but it's too late. Cole rushes to grab Liu Kang so he won't do anything stupid and a sudden lightning teleports them out of the temple. The whole team appears in the void, a space between realms where they can't be tracked. After Raiden hands Cole Hanzo's kunai, he teleports each team member separately to contain the fights. Jax appears in front of Reiko and stops the hammer with his new arms. After breaking it, Jax repeatedly punches Reiko and smashes his head between his hands for an instant kill. Kano is at Sonya's house, so she sneaks under the floor and uses a hatch to slash his leg. She then surprises him from behind and manages to stab him in the back. They exchange multiple blows and Sonya stops the laser by breaking a bottle on Kano's face, then she disappears. Kano thinks she went down the hatch and fires his laser at it, but she's actually in the other room. Sonya throws a bottle of acetone at him, temporarily disabling his eye. The battle continues in the bathroom, where they use a bunch of random objects to hit each other before Sonya is thrown out the window. Kano follows her and grabs her in a chokehold, but luckily Sonya finds a garden gnome on the ground and stabs Kano in the eye to finally kill him. This makes the mark appear on her arm. Meanwhile, Liu Kang is ready for Kabal this time, attacking him with fire punches while dodging his dual swords. After exchanging a few blows, Liu Kang kicks Kabal multiple times in the chest to throw him into black quicksand. Then Liu Kang summons a dragon of fire that burns Kabal to ashes. Cole is having trouble with Melina, who manages to land multiple hits by attacking by surprise because she's capable of going through quick portals. Melina roars as her face splits, revealing a bigger mouth and dozens of teeth. When she tries to bite Cole, he blocks her mouth with his weapon. At that moment Sonya appears and uses her new power to shoot a plasma beam, which instantly kills Melina with a hole in her belly. Back in Cole's house, Sub-Zero appears outside the door. Then he shows up in front of Cole and shows him that he's got Emily's bracelet, which he freezes to destroy it. A furious Cole follows him into the smoke cloud and is teleported into his gym where the ice is keeping his family captive. Sub-Zero attacks Cole and another fight begins. The ice freezes Cole's weapon and he's thrown off as he gets disarmed. With a few more punches, Sub-Zero starts freezing Cole's armor too. Cole brings out the kunai to attack and Sub-Zero turns it against him, so Cole stops it with his bare hand. The kunai causes him to bleed, and the contact with the blood lights the kunai on fire. Sub-Zero realizes it's Hanzo's blade and is about to use it to end Cole, but suddenly his arm is stabbed by a chain. It turns out the flame had brought Hanzo back from hell, confirming he was the man of Cole's visions. Hanzo pulls the chain to bring Sub-Zero closer and attacks with his katana, so Sub-Zero defends himself with an ice blade. They exchange a few hits before Hanzo stabs Sub-Zero with the kunai and announces his name is now Scorpion. While the men continue to fight, Cole concentrates on his power to try to break the ice. Sub-Zero slashes Scorpion's arm and manipulates the blood to create a new blade. He stabs Scorpion on the back and throws him at an ice wall. Scorpion doesn't give up and keeps fighting, so Sub-Zero creates a copy of himself out of ice to block an attack. The men fall near Cole, who has to ignore his family and join the fight. By working together, Scorpion and Cole can overpower Sub-Zero, who still manages to freeze Scorpion's legs. Thinking about his own clan's deaths, Scorpion summons some fire to free himself and Cole's family. Then the duo works together again to stab Sub-Zero with the chain and beat him up. With Sub-Zero on his knees, Scorpion uses his fire breath to burn him down. Afterward, Scorpion tells Cole to take care of his bloodline and disappears in a whirlpool of fire. Cole reunites with his family while the rest of the team arrives as well. Suddenly Shang Tsung appears to pick up Sub-Zero's body and promises revenge, disappearing when Raiden's about to attack. Then Raiden reminds everyone they still have to win the tournament and sends them to find more champions. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.